Good. All right. Good evening, and welcome to the May 9th, 2023 regular session meeting of City Council. If you're with us tonight and would like to address council, please register with staff in the lobby. Please indicate item I for matters germane to City Council if the item you wish to speak to is not on the agenda. Our light system is a 3-minute system. After stating your name and address, the green light will appear. After 2 minutes, the yellow light will appear. After 3 minutes, the red light will appear, and we ask that you take your seat at that time. Copies of the city ordinance regarding citizen participation can be found at the desk in the lobby. If you intend to address council this evening, please pick up and review a copy of that ordinance. At this time, please silence your phones. Prior to beginning the business portion of the meeting, Reverend Dr. Peter Evans with Colossians Baptist Church will provide an invocation to the council. Afterwards, Councilman Harris will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. It is the practice of the council members to stand for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Those who also wish to stand are welcome, but are under no obligation to do so. Thank you.
We thank you for this privilege and opportunity you've given us to gather tonight as the mayor and the city council of Newport News to address the issues of our city and our communities. And we pray that as we gather tonight that we would certainly take in consideration all those who are less fortunate than we are, that we may consider having rules and have laws into place that will protect our city and protect those who are in our communities. We ask that you would be with us as we communicate and as we talk tonight. Let us listen with our hearts and with our minds so that we will not make any quick decisions about anything without listening to it and then having the opportunity to address it with one another. We ask that you would just continue to allow us to be blessed in this place and that you will continue to watch over us and keep us in your care. We love you and we thank you in the name of him. Amen.
Please join me as we recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So at this time, I'm going to practice some mayor privilege and turn it over to Councilman Harris for a quick shout out.
All right, and thank you, Mayor Jones. One of the things we used to do prior to COVID in 2020 is to acknowledge during our public meetings a young person in our community that is doing great things in school, academically, and in the community. And we wanted to get back to that because there's a lot of great things that happen in Newport News. Just so happens that more of the negative gets highlighted than the positive. And this young lady we have with us tonight, Miss Delaney Willis, I believe I pronounced that correct. That's not the name I got here. Uh-oh.
Is there somebody
Miss
recognized?
Miss Buckingham?
Yeah.
Miss Buckingham, who do you have? Oh, Kiera. I'm sorry, Kiera, if she could please stand.
There we go.
There she goes. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Got knocked sidetracked. I went back to the wrong email. But we're excited to have her here on tonight. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this young lady as she is doing great things in our community. She's a Achievable Dream, correct? And she's doing a lot of things in the community. She is, along with Ms. Buckingham's recommendation, if she could stand as well. She doesn't want to stand. And we're excited about how she is just doing so many great things to help out the young people. She's also mentoring young people in our community with Ms. Buckingham. And can you tell everybody what college you're going to? She'll be attending James Madison University, which we're excited about. And she is somebody that we continue to want to uplift as an exemplary model here in our city. I will be coming to your school to bring your certificate that we have, but we wanted to highlight you on tonight to let everybody in the city of Newport News know how we have so many phenomenal young people that are doing well, striving academically, and continuing to help volunteer in the community with the young people that she is mentoring with Ms. Buckingham. So everybody please get a good look at this young lady, because she's going to be doing great things in our future, and we hope once you finish at James Madison that you come back and continue to serve in our community with all the great things that you're doing. So let's give her a round of applause for Ms. Kiera. And I think that's her family behind her. Your family behind you. Mom, you can stand up. So yeah, so and like I said, we want to make sure we continue to highlight the young people here in our city to come down and let everybody get a good look at the great things that is being, great individuals being produced here in our school system, and the great mentors that are continuing to provide that leadership to them along the way so that they can give back to our community when they become elders in our community. So thank you, Kiera, for being here on tonight, and thank you for the great things that you have done and exemplary model you have set for your classmates, peers, and we look forward for great things in the future. So thank you, Mayor Jones, for giving us this opportunity to highlight her tonight.
If I may, can I also recognize the Upward Bound program? I actually had an opportunity to meet Kiera on the Upward Bound college trip. My wife works with Upward Bounds, and that program does an amazing job because it helps first-generation students go to college and prepare for their bright future. So the Upward Bound program is also here. If they could just be recognized at this time. I see Dr. Sawyer right there and Miss Connie Sawyer. That's it.
Okay. So normally we do that at the end, but it's going to be a pretty long meeting, and wanted to make sure that we recognize everyone.
Yeah, that's why we wanted to do it early,
Yeah.
because we had a lengthy session on tonight, and I didn't want her to stay too late because she has to get up and go to school in the morning.
Exactly.
Because as she gets prepared to go to James Madison, she's going to study kinesiology, and she is got a lot of studying to do. So we want to do that early on tonight, and thank you once again for being here.
Thank you. So at this time, before we start the meeting, we have 3 proclamations that we're going to read. So I'm going to make my way down there. That I'm going to read, yeah. So before we actually get started, can I have Mabel and Zena come up, please? We need you both up here, please. We need you both up here. We need you right here. We need you right here. So last week it was Municipal Clerks Week, and behind sort of City Council and the mayor is the clerk's office, and that's Mabel, that's Zena, that's Laura, and that's Lorraine. And so from all of us here at City Council, we cannot do this job without you. They record everything, they audit, they send out stuff. So I just want to give a round of applause to these 2 and your 2 staff. They'll do the speech next time. Okay, so we have 3 proclamations, and I'm really excited to do this tonight. So the first one is going to be for Older Americans Month. Will Gerald Pastel please join me at the podium? I'm going to read this thing, okay? So the proclamation reads, whereas the city of Newport News includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their strength, wisdom, and experience to our community, and whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently, and whereas the city of Newport News can work to build an even better community for our older residents by not limiting our thinking about aging, exploring and combating stereotypes, emphasizing the many positive aspects of aging, embracing our community's diversity. Now, therefore, I, Philip D. Jones, Mayor of the City of Newport News, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Older Americans Month, and I urge every resident to celebrate our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, accept the challenge of flexible thinking around aging, and join these efforts with the Peninsula Agency on Aging, Newport News Parks and Recreation's Active Lifestyles, and other service agencies in our community. I now have, which one? This one right here. I think we're doing a photo op right now. Okay. That's your proclamation. All right. We'll hold it right here. We can clap. Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. For our second presentation, will Frank James, Director of Public Works, and staff from our Public Works Department please join me at the podium for a presentation of a proclamation of Public Works Week. Okay, thank you. Come on, don't be shy. Come on. And you know, next week I'm coming, right?
Yes.
It's gonna be a surprise. I'm coming next week, all right? Hey, how are you? Come on, we got room. We can go around. We can make a U. How you doing? All right. So I'll be joining them next week. It's gonna be a surprise. Should be a great time for all parties involved. But if your trash doesn't get picked up, it was me. I did it. Oh, okay. Come on. Yeah, no worries. How you doing? Okay, no worries. So the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Newport News. And whereas facilities, infrastructure, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees from all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Newport News to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and programs in our communities. And whereas, we're almost there, the American Public Works Association Week 2023 theme is Connecting the World Through Public Works. And whereas the year 2023 marks the 63rd annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now, therefore, I, Philip D. Jones, Mayor of the City of Newport News, do hereby designate the week of May 21 to May 27, 2023 as National Public Works Week in the City of Newport News and encourage all citizens to recognize the hard work and commitment to excellence of the employees of the Newport News Department of Public Works as well as their accredited status. Here, we get closer. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Almo. Let's give him one more round of applause. So our last proclamation this evening touches my heart in a very special way. As a matter of fact, the Public Works employees that we just acknowledged are also a part of this larger group of public servants. I'd like to ask City Manager Cindy Rolfe and members of the Employee Pride Task Force to come forward. So this week is National Public Service Recognition Week, and it is the best time to recognize the extraordinary work of the more than 4,000 employees under Cindy's leadership who give of their time and talents to keep our city running and who provide the quality service that our citizens expect and deserve. The quote displayed on the wall behind me says, take this one, "Everyone can be great because everyone can serve." I stand before you tonight grateful to the great women and men who come to work every day with a servant's heart. My colleagues on City Council, and we can just come down here, City Council as well, as they walk down. My colleagues on City Council and I appreciate the skills that our public servants bring to the City of Newport News, and we commend their dedication this and every week. Also, this morning, we paid tribute to those employees that we lost during the past year. In recognition of the outstanding service of our city employees, I am proclaiming the week of May 17 to May 13th as Public Service Recognition Week. The proclamation reads, "Whereas, in a long and proud tradition where the citizens of Newport News are served every single day by public servants, these unsung heroes that do the work of keeping our city operating smoothly and effectively, and whereas this tradition of outstanding public service is advanced every single day by the nearly 4,000 city employees who work diligently to improve the quality of life for Newport News residents, and whereas these public servants provide diverse services to all members of Newport News, some risking their lives each day, in service to the people of the city of Newport News in fair weather or foul, and whereas Newport News public servants work eagerly and enthusiastically to make Newport News a community that is and will always be built on breakthroughs. And whereas it is my honor as mayor to serve alongside these incredible servants of the people, and whereas in recognition of the extraordinary efforts brought forth by the City of Newport News public servants, city leadership, along with the Employee Pride Task Force, will show support and pay tribute to our public servants for the work they do, and remember those who have gone before. Now, therefore, I, Philip D. Jones, Mayor of the City of Newport News, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to May 13th, 2023, as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Newport News, and ask the citizens of this community to join in recognition of the many contributions and accomplishments of employees, at all levels in the City of Newport News. All right, we're doing one. Let me just slide in the back. All right, we good?
There's a big gap right
Come on, right there, Tina.
Tina right there.
I don't want to get in front of the committee.
Give us thumbs up.
Jeez.
Perfect. Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Broken glass. Broken glass. Yeah, thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. We appreciate you, man. Good to see you too. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Broken glass. It's okay.
Okay, I think we're ready. So, public hearing, page 4. Item E1 is a request for City Council to receive public comments on the effective real property tax rate as it relates to the recommended fiscal year 2024 operating budget. This public hearing is required by state code when a locality estimates an increase of property tax greater than 1% for the upcoming fiscal year. The current tax rate is $1.20 per $100 of assessed value of real property. The lowered tax rate necessary to offset the increased assessment would be $1.01 per 100 of assessed value. The difference between the lowered tax rate and the proposed tax rate is 0.104 per 100. This difference is 9.5% and will be known as the effective tax rate increase. Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried, 7-0.
And as a reminder, item E1 was an item to only receive public comments on the effective real property tax rate. There is not a vote on this item at this time. Page 7, item E2 is a request to adopt an ordinance granting conditional use permit number Charlie Uniform -2022-0011 to CMH Homes to allow for the construction and operation of an automobile body and paint shop on a 2.3 acre parcel located at 13130 Jefferson Avenue, zoned M1 Light Industrial. On April 5, 2023, the City Planning Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval of CU-2022-0011 with conditions. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers? Okay. Hey, Tim.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Tim Trance. My privilege to be here tonight on behalf of the applicant. I'll be quite brief. I just wanted to introduce myself, attorney with Kaufman and Knowles, 11815 Fountain Way here in the city of Newport News. Also with me tonight is Mr. Bill Wiseman, who is one of the owners of the contract purchaser of the property and the proposed developer of the body shop. This is for most of you probably know this. This is the site of the former Clayton Homes facility, which has been vacant since about 2019. We're excited to bring a new business to this location. Appreciate staff and all their hard work. Ms. McAllister, Ms. Choros, Ms. Poissant were pretty rigorous in their review and helping us get the application together as it is presented to you tonight. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
I think we're good. Is there a motion to close the public hearing? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried, 7-0.
Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried, 7-0.
Thank you. Page 40, item E3 is a request to adopt an ordinance granting conditional use permit Charlie Uniform -2023-0003 to A&P Associates to allow for the construction and operation of an automobile sales on a 6.961 acre portion of a 36.988 acre parcel located at 13101 Jefferson Avenue, Zone C1, Retail Commercial. The applicant proposes to develop a portion of the property with a new structure for a dealership. Permits from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality have been secured for the portion of the property to be developed. The remaining property will remain undeveloped in a conservation easement. On May 3rd, 2023, the City Planning Commission voted 7-0 to recommend approval of Charlie Uniform -2023-0003 with conditions. The city manager recommends approval. Do we have any speakers?
Yes, sir. One, Ms. Lindsay Carney. Questions only.
Okay. We have one speaker for questions. Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried, 7-0.
Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely. Motion carried 7-0.
Page 83, item E4 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute any and all documents, including deeds necessary to effectuate the conveyance of a portion of city-owned property located at 185 Enterprise Drive, United States of America. In order to meet and comply with the DoD's anti-terrorism standards, a new main gate entrance has been designed for Fort Eustis on Fort Eustis Boulevard. To accommodate the new main gate layout, an approximately 12.5 acre portion of city-owned property at 185 Enterprise Drive is required. The United States of America has offered the city $185,000 for the property necessary to accommodate the new main gate. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Move adoption.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Page 92. Item E5 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary for stormwater management agreement by and among Virginia Department of Transportation, the City of Newport News, and York County for the operation of a stormwater pond in York County. Newport News Waterworks is proposing to construct a regional stormwater management basin in York County designed to reduce sediment and nutrient loads from surrounding development from entering Harwood's Mill Reservoir. The Virginia Department of Transportation is in need of a stormwater management facility to capture the increased runoff from the proposed widening of Route 17 in the Grafton area of York County. Waterworks has offered to accept the runoff from the proposed Route 17 widening project in the new stormwater basement in exchange for a one-time payment of $150,000 from VDOT. Should Waterworks fail to complete the construction of the pond by December 31st, 2024, Waterworks would retain the one-time fee and grant VDOT an area of right-of-way to construct a VDOT stormwater basin. The city attorney's office has coordinated the required advertisement regarding real estate notifications and execution of the agreement. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Page 106. Oh, sorry. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. Page 106. Item E6 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents of a portion of city-owned waterworks property at 13800 Jefferson Avenue for a portion of Economic Development Authority-owned property at 350 Yorktown Road. With the development of the Economic Development Authority in view tract at 350 Yorktown Road, a portion of 13800 Jefferson Avenue is required to accommodate the main entrance at Jefferson Avenue. EDA and Waterworks staff have reached a mutually agreeable exchange that will provide the EDA with 1 acre of the city-owned 13800 Jefferson Avenue parcel to accommodate the development Jefferson Avenue entrance in exchange for providing the city with 3 acres of the EDA-owned 350 Yorktown Road parcel that will support Waterworks' watershed mission. There is no consideration involved in this transaction except for the exchange of the 2 properties. City Manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers? Dana Henry.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I am Dr. Dinah Palpe Henry. I have lived at 90 Anchorage Drive in Newport News for over 35 years. I have been a member of the Lee Hall Master Plan Citizen Advisory Committee for the past 3 years. It has been enlightening and a true effort by many members and Carolyn Poussaint, our city planner. The Lee Hall Master Plan was presented to the Planning Commission last week and will be sent for your consideration later this month, I have been told. The Lee Hall area for the master plan encompasses area from Fort Eustis to the James River to the York County line and includes the historic Enview property and the EDA property just mentioned. I ask that the council postpone a decision on conveyance until there is council action on the Lee Hall master plan. Acting on the conveyance of property prior to action on the Lee Hall master plan could be seen as diminishing the work and effort that the Citizen Advisory Committee has done. 2 of the major foci of the plan are the protection of historical aspects of the areas and preservation of natural resources. I understand that there are other council actions within the borders of the Lee Hall master plan. However, given the sensitive nature of the proposed conveyance, I ask for postponement till the Lee Hall master plan is considered. The proposed areas of conveyance are within the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Area. They are also within resource-protected areas and wetlands. In addition, the city archaeologist has documented unmarked graves, probably of enslaved persons, at the locations on the Enview EDA property. Also, the Enview home was a Civil War hospital, and many Confederate and Union soldier remains are still buried there. I apologize that I do not, I'm taking up your time, but please consider postponing conveyance until you have considered the larger issue of the Lee Hall master plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I ask you the reason for the, I'm not clear on it, of why you want to delay it? Because this is just the conveyance to EDA. It is not about the plan.
My concern is conveyance may impact the historical aspect of that area. It hasn't been assessed. Those areas that are going to be conveyed have not been assessed in terms of natural resources and archaeological finds. There could be something that needs to be looked at. And the master plan, it's always best to look at the master plan larger and then focus down to the smaller. I am not arguing against conveyance. I am arguing that it should be postponed until the bigger plan is approved.
Thank you.
Any other?
For the Madam Manager, when does that come to council from the Planning Commission?
May 23rd, so it'll be your next meeting.
Okay.
So what you're suggesting is to wait until after that?
Yes.
I see.
Sheila, do you want to speak to the Planning Commission action? My understanding is the project was removed from the Lee Hall plan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
The actual concept plan was removed from the plan. However, the discussion was the land itself, which continues to be mixed use. But the conveyance would have no impact. The plan has no impact on the conveyance.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The plan has no real impact on the conveyance.
Are there, sorry, the mic is messing up tonight. Is there implications of delaying it? What happens if we delay it tonight?
I don't think there are any implications of delaying it in terms of the timing. We'd like to be able to move forward. I don't know of anything from Waterworks or from development. But as Sheila had mentioned, there's no real impact of the plan on the conveyance.
Yeah, I wouldn't see an impact, a great deal of difference in voting tonight because it's just conveying the property, It's not like the property is being deleted or anything. That's why I would just want to move
If there's no
forward.
negative effect, it's a request, and I would be willing to entertain it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Yep. Yep. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So move.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I am not going to vote for it because if, out of just courtesy that somebody is asking this, and if we have no negative effect, I can't see why we can't postpone this.
I would point out that since this involves a Waterworks property, it's going to need a 3/4 vote of council, so unless you have 6 votes, it won't pass.
And I'm going to join her in that.
All right, so in that case, does someone want to propose a second motion?
Make a motion to revisit this
The next meeting.
to the next meeting.
Second.
Would that be enough time?
I think the plan comes up on the May 23rd meeting, so if this is put on the agenda for action on May 23rd, it would not be under the public hearings, but the plan would be. So it would come after the public hearings, which would include the plan.
So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Item F contains the following items. Page 113, minutes of the work session of April 11th, 2023. Page 129, minutes of the regular meeting of April 11th, 2023. Page 162, minutes of the meeting of the continued budget hearing of April 13th, 2023. Page 171, minutes of the work session of April 25, 2023. Page 177, a resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to execute the agreement by and between the City of Newport News, Virginia, and the Commonwealth of Virginia Department of Health, Peninsula Health District. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, items F1 through F5, all inclusive?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Vice Mayor Vick. I'm sorry. Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Other city council actions. Next on our agenda, page 191, item G1-1, Madam Manager.
Yes, the next item and the 8 associated items are dealing with the adoption of the 2024 operating budget. And as council is aware, each item has to be acted on separately. So I'll read each item and then ask council for your action. So the first item is a request to adopt an ordinance reordaining City Code Chapter 40, Taxation, Article 2, Real Estate Taxes, Division 1 generally, Section 40-12, levied amount, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-2, Madam Manager.
This is a request to adopt an ordinance reordaining City Code Chapter 40, Taxation, Article 12, Tangible Personal Property Taxes, Division 2, Tax Levy and Rates, Section 40-220.3, Mobile Home Tax Levied Amount, and Section 40-220.5, Tax on Personal Property of Public Service Corporations, levied amount, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, I have some discussion because I had asked, unfortunately, I guess too late, in order to give a relief that we did for people who own property, I felt that this should have been, personal property tax should have been reduced as well. It was too late for that office because they had already sent out the assessments. But I would like to go on record that next year, that should be considered before they send out assessments, because everybody's assessment went up. Mine went up last year and this year, and we need some relief in that area as well for those people who don't own homes and who still need some tax relief. So I just want to go on record that I want to see that done earlier rather than later next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Manager, when is the deadline for when they send that out this coming year?
For next year, I honestly don't know. I'd have to get back to you and let you know.
But I agree with, I think we need to, I think when we look at easing the tax burden, it should be for those who own property, but also those who don't. And I think the biggest way for our lever is personal property, so agreed.
I think off the top of my head, Carly, you may remember, or Lisa, I think last year we did it in about the February, March timeframe.
Okay.
The second meeting in March, and that gave her time to adjust.
So we need to have that on the agenda for next year.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long. 4. Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-3, Madam Manager.
Is a request to adopt an ordinance amending and reordaining City Code Chapter 33, Sewers and Sewage Disposal, Article 2, Connections to Public Sewer, Sections 33-19, Charges, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? No, sir. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-4, Madam Manager.
This is a request to approve a resolution to amend the policy regarding sewage collection systems for the city, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-5, Madam Manager.
Request to adopt an ordinance amending and reordaining City Code Chapter 2, Administration, Article 7, Office of Risk Management, Section 2-222, General Powers of Risk Manager, Article 20, Office of Purchasing, Section 2-552.1, Appointment, General Powers, and Duties of the Purchasing Agent, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-6, Madam Manager.
A request to approve a resolution to amend the cost allocation agreement between the cities of Chesapeake, Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, and the Transportation District Commission of Hampton Roads, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-7, Madam Manager.
It's a request to adopt an ordinance providing for the adoption of a classification and pay plan for the employees of the City of Newport News, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item G1-8, Madam Manager.
Yes, and this is the finale. It's the request to adopt an ordinance to approve the budget and appropriate funds to operate the City of Newport News for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023, and ending June 30th, 2024, inclusive, and I recommend approval.
Are there any speakers? Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
No. Did you close the public hearing?
We good?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, I hear no discussion. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Appropriations, page 213, appropriations, item H, Madam Manager.
Yes, we have one appropriation, and it's a request to approve a resolution appropriating $1,622,232 of additional one-time funding for fiscal year 2023 street and highway maintenance state revenue to the Department of Public Works for residential street reconstruction and resurfacing contracts, and I recommend approval.
No speakers? Is there a motion to approve item H1?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Harris.
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Councilman Long.
4.
Councilwoman Vick.
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury.
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Citizen comments. Item I, citizen comments on matters that are germane to the business of City Council. I will call each name in the order that it appears in front of me. Lily Robinson.
How everybody doing? I'm coming over here now. I called your office, Mayor Jones. My name is Lily Robinson. I was born and raised here in Newport News. I'm 77 years old. I called your office to ask you because this is the last time I'm coming over here. I'm tired. My wheelchair is breaking down from running from place to place, trying to get help with the situation that the City of Newport News and Redevelopment Housing Authority got us all living in. It took me more than 3 minutes to get across that bridge when I come over here. It take me more than 3 minutes to come back over here. It took more than 3 minutes for all this to happen. It took more than 3 years, 30 years before y'all was born. I'm asking y'all to let me speak now because I will not be back, but I will still be in on it and hoping that y'all will help us after you hear from a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. Every last one of y'all up there, I hope y'all mother, your grandmothers, your daughters, whoever got children. And some more of them and everything. And I want to thank them. But let me tell y'all of this and stuff. In 2013, I left Marshall Court because of the action and stuff. I was getting disabled, and they didn't give me the railing. Then I had to move from there with a 30-day notice. Marshall Court, which never belonged to us, that they built it and stopped building in 2013 after they embezzled and stole everything and stuff. Half of it's done. So I left there in 2013 after going to HUD on them, who failed me in 2013, but I'm gonna get them now and stuff. I moved over to downtown Newport News in the city park where I was born and raised at. Middle class, like with that person and stuff, I don't want to call his name and stuff. And came during the COVID, this slumlord that they let come in here and get these old houses from the 30s and everything from Iran and stuff, don't fix up nothing. During the COVID, he tried to go up my rent. I had this letter sent to Newport News Redevelopment Housing Authority and Miss Tatum and stuff. Miss Tatum, God bless her soul and stuff, knew what situation I was in with me and my son. The place and stuff, he never fixed it up. I had a $1,000 water bill during the COVID. My granddaughter fell through the wooden floor and stuff. So I had this letter wrote up about his property manager. December the 9th, 2021. This is when I first came back to Newport News Redevelopment and Housing Authority after that downpour in Marshall Court. I am a property manager for Beach Realty. I have been managing properties for this person, Cagnew, for 4 years. Mr. Cagnew asked me to help in the needed repairs to Madison Avenue since he lived out of the area, like they all do, and come here and get them houses, won't fix up and stuff. And you call code compliance, but by the time they get there, they ready to condemn it and you have nowhere to go and stuff, you know what I mean? And said Mrs. Robinson's been complaining about the leaks in her home, the high water bill for over a year. I know this because he has mentioned this to me in the past. I was appalled at the lack of maintenance at their home when I expected. Miss Robinson has been renting from him for 8 years after I left Marshall Court in 2013. Paying her rent on time, never missing a payment and stuff. And he has the nerve to take me to court when I decided because he didn't fix up and my granddaughter had fell through the port. So I sent this and stuff to housing.
Ma'am,
I know y'all got time and stuff.
We'll give you one more minute, ma'am.
Tell
Yes,
you
ma'am.
what happened and stuff. This whole year and stuff that I've been dealing with, you're not understanding. I'm not just speaking for myself, man. I'm speaking for my family and friends down there. They're watching y'all on cable. I've been here ever since the parade last year and stuff. Let me let y'all know what they did to our 77-year-old mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. This young lady from Newport News Redevelopment Housing Authority. First of all and stuff, she didn't get me in there when I was supposed to, and I called over town to Wells' office. And this young lady had me out there on July the 5th. In 2022, meeting her at the place that I supposed to move in the back of a church, and never came. July the 20th, she had me at 3 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. That's unfortunately that's time, but I'll stay up. We can talk afterward. Just to make sure, we have 8 other speakers, and I want to honor everyone's time tonight. Thank you, though, ma'am.
See, this is what I'm saying and stuff.
We'll come talk to you right after. Right after.
No, I just don't understand it. And everybody else having a happy Mother's Day. I just had 2 grandsons got in a bad accident on Friday. One of them is real bad. And then I became a grandmother, great-grandmother twice under this and stuff. And I'd have been over here. Thank y'all for giving us back our parade. They should have never took it. And I believe in my heart, and I know that McKinley Price and the city of Newport News are responsible for the way that we're not living in downtown Newport News. And y'all need to do something about it. Y'all need to do something about Huntington.
I'll come talk to you right after the meeting. Yes, ma'am. Ed Whitley. Sir.
Mayor Jones, Vice Mayor Bellamy, and council members. My name is Ed Whitley. I live at 403 Mitchfield Road South, Newport News, Virginia. I have come here 2 months talking about the Confederate monument and where it should go. One of the places I was talking about is in view, where the Confederate soldiers are. Tonight I'm listening that you are looking at a plan that you may be moving these Confederate soldiers. Where will you move these Confederate soldiers if you approve this program? And if you do move it, would you be willing to put the Confederate monument up with these unnamed soldiers that your bodies are moving? There's also indentured servants and slaves that are buried on that property. What do you want to do with them? would you consider making a monument for them when you relocate their bodies, because you don't know who they are, in honor of them? I'm not here just fighting for one monument for the Confederacy. I'm here to respect our people, our ancestors of the past. These indentured servants, these slaves, and these Confederate soldiers all need to be respected. If you so desire to transfer that property and move those graves, I ask that you take in consideration that both set of entities be properly taken care of and properly honored. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. Akima Love. Akama Love? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can come this way. That's fine.
Coma Love. What am I supposed to say?
Can you scoot in closer? The mic's having trouble. Thank you.
Coma Love. Good evening, Mayor and everyone here. I actually fell asleep. I haven't had sleep in 3 days. I was put out of Quality Inn after a pastor put me up for 3 days. He called, canceled the 2 days because I had already been there 1 day, had me put out. This is a pastor, okay? It's the second time I've been put out. Since I saw you last, I was put out of 4 Oaks. I asked them to review the tape for the accusation. It was evident, would be evident. Our friend, Mr. Quincy White, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't spoken to me. He has not responded to any of my calls. I cannot come through there. I cannot shower. I slept in the street last night. Nowhere to go. Haven't had a shower. You know, it's just absolutely amazing. What woke me up, this woman's testimony here. And I said, God, I said, help us. Help. Virginia needs Jesus. Virginia needs a change of heart. That's what's going to make a change for everybody. There are no shelters for homeless people. That Mission is a warehouse. If you pull up animal shelters, you'll see, you'll be scrolling forever. They got supermarkets, PetSmart, Petco, etc., grooming places, everything, parks, access to the public. People do not. You know, and am I in an environment with aliens? Because this is just unheard of. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. We see the suffering. I'm calling for the pastors to go to school, stand praying with our children, let our children know that this is what they have to look forward to if they don't do something now. What do you call those detector things, metal detectors? They're not going to save our children by putting more in there. We need black men to get up, go into the school, spend day and night with them. Churches need to open their doors 24/7 and take the people in. If they can do it for the winter program, they can do it for otherwise. I haven't heard anything on the chess challenge. And as I'm listening to all the recognition, homeless people, we don't even make it over the radar. I have an email, a homeless wall of fame. I'm talking to the libraries about doing stuff to give recognition to people we call homeless and to change the entire environment by way of input from the homeless population, which is the overrepresented majority African American society. And I have some handouts. I don't know who I need to give them to.
The clerk will take care of them. The city clerk.
Okay. I think how many people? Was it 8
Thank
of
you.
them? Yeah. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I didn't have it. Okay, make sure to make this. Okay, thank you. What you have here is actually a sample of a Homer Street paper that I started, a flyer for the dog park. I'm doing something called yard sale. I couldn't get a thing to do a movie, so I had to get a, what do you call it, a permit to do a yard sale, and then we consequently videotape to demonstrate the works and talents of the.
We'll take a look at it. I think Councilman Long had a comment.
Yeah, is there a way we can find out Quincy White what's going on with her matter? Because Four Oaks is meant to be a low barrier entry point, and so I'm kind of concerned that if she was put out at Four Oaks, then we need to address that.
It's been 2 months, and he's not communicating with me at all. I can't even go through the metal detector when I come through the door. And I stepped out on the street last night. I have no idea where I'm going to be tonight, where I'm going to shower, you know, and I saw so many people out in the street last night. I said, God, help me. These are not spring chickens. These are old men and women and children. And I said, God, what on earth do you want me to do? The animals got it all. We have nothing.
Ma'am, I'll come talk to you right after this, after Ms. Robinson.
God.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Diane Garrison.
Hard to follow that. That was tough. Evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Diane Garrison. I live in 356 Rivers Ridge Circle. It's in the North District of Newport News. I'd like to talk to you today about, we just had the missing and murdered Indigenous women and children on the 5th of May. I tried to get the city of Newport News involved a little bit, and I'm trying hard to get people involved in this. I know we don't have many Native Americans in this area. We have 23,000 Native Americans. We're ranked 40th in the state, in the United States of Native Americans. But my concern is that we have the infrastructure for trafficking in Newport News that is very high. Most of our Native American women and children that are trafficked come out of Canada, and they're trafficked because we have seaports, we have the airlines, and we have the casinos now, and things like that. So I'm trying to make Newport News aware of your infrastructure for trafficking. And so I run the Mattaponi Healing Eagle Clinic, and that's how I'm involved in it. A lot of the times, because I am a free Native American medical and dental, and I do service a lot of food. I take food down to as a Baptist church. I take food down to Four Oaks so that we can support the Native Americans in this area. So my concern with you tonight is just an awareness to bring it to you, that I'm hopefully that we don't see much of it in this area, but it is happening. The latest one that I received did come out of Canada. It was a female that could not speak. She was deaf, and she was scared to death, and she got trafficked down to King William area. So what I'm trying to do is just make the Newport News City, the police department, and the city council aware that these things are happening in this area, and reach out. I'm trying to reach out to talk to everybody to make sure that we know it is happening. I don't want it to go untalked about in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. William Miller.
Mr. Miller is going to let me lead off. I'm Ken Jones, and Mayor Jones and members of the City Council, City Manager, and staff. I'm the president of the Lee Hall Train Station Foundation, and it is my pleasure to invite not only the council but the citizens of Newport News to come out and see the premier railroad museum in the whole area, the region, Tidewater region. The Lee Hall train station has been renovated. It was moved across the tracks when I was the fire chief in 2010. It had been totally restored inside and out. And our capstone project is the Chessie Caboose. If you ride down Warwick Boulevard at night, it's got the floodlights on it and the big cats looking at you. And that project took 565 hours of volunteer labor and almost $30,000 of foundation funds to get it restored. And when I showed the railroad what it looked like after they gave us a car that was headed to the scrapyard, they really wanted it back, but I said, can't have it. So we also have a railroad diesel locomotive simulator that one of our members, who is a retired orthopedic surgeon, built in his basement. It was a kit. We put it back together. And if you come Saturday, I'll give you a ride up in the cab, show you how the train operates, and the screen will take you from Williamsburg to Newport News and show you what the railroad right-of-way looks like that you don't get to see. And you think you're out in the country when you're coming down on the railroad, not like in an urban city. And also, we've spent about 2,500 hours of work, and we're still working on a World War II hospital car that we got out at Fort Eustis, and the foundations raised the funds and put the man hours in to restore this. Now, we've got the exterior just about finished, and the interior project's going to take a lot of time and effort to finish it, but when it's finished, it'll be moved out to the Lee Hall station and displayed to show the connection between the railroad, the military, and how the railroad helped Newport News grow and prosper from the early days of 1880 to today. And I thank you very much, and it's 10 to 4 on Saturday, the 13th of May, and we got a little package for you, has some photos. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And next up, Mr. Miller, you have your 3 minutes.
Greetings. I hope you all have a brochure that we've been following through. I'd like to talk about the events at the Lee Hall Depot. I work on the Lee Hall Train Station Foundation with President Jones. Recent events included John Henry Day. It was an interesting presentation on the African American folk hero and how he died with a hammer in his hand building the Great Bend Tunnel in West Virginia. Then we had a Boy Scout Merit Badge Day. They earned the whole merit badge in 9 stations throughout the depot. 58 scouts earned the merit badge. They loved it, and we're going to do it again probably in the fall. We had Hobo Day at the depot, celebrating the transient travelers, which we know as hobo. It was mostly historical because we couldn't find any current hobos to come in. Then we had Elizabeth Cooper, an author who wrote the Norfolk Southern in Hampton Roads. She gave a presentation all about how Norfolk Southern is around, even though the Lee Hall Depot is on the CSX line. But it was interesting to learn how the track was built across the Great Dismal Swamp many years ago and is still in use. Upcoming events are the National Train Day, as President Jones mentioned. This Saturday, we'd be glad to see you all come out and see the depot and all the events that we have going on there. We have a train and toy sale at the depot. We had it twice last year, raising $2,300 for the hospital car we're restoring. We're doing it again on May 21st. And throughout June, we're going to have a large-scale train display every Saturday and 2 train camps in June where kids can come and just do a variety of train events. So we'd love to have you come up at any time. If you want any special visits, just give us a call, and we'd be glad to host you at any time during the week. And of course, we're open every Saturday. And thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I have been up there. It really is nice.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
And let me ask you, how are you advertising to the to get the young people? Who are you working through the schools?
Well, we have a lot of what am I trying to think of? A lot of anyways.
Volunteers.
Volunteers, word of mouth, that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people passing it around and getting a lot of interest up. Facebook page, some advertising, but I think we're just not doing enough because we don't have a lot of visitors every Saturday, although it's been growing over the year. We've been open 2 years now. The caboose was put in place last year, which really enhanced our station, and when people come in on a Saturday, we take them through the caboose, actually inside, because the inside of the caboose is just as restored as outside. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Pam Hall.
Good evening. I'm Pam Hall, and I reside in the Southeast community. Huntington Middle School should remain on the land owned by the school board because it is part of the legacy of the Southeast community, and it is the will of the people. The project should also be supervised by the school board, not the city. We, the citizens of the Southeast community, are still trying to make the connection to our community of the city-imposed names lift and rise. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. When will we in the Southeast community get our democracy?
Thank you, ma'am. Janine Bazemore.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Jenny Bazemore. I reside on Hampton Avenue in the city. Once again, we are asking that this council look into the improprieties that have and are occurring with the Sacred Project, which includes the rebuilding of Huntington Middle Schools. School administrators build schools, not city managers. The plans and the funding are being handled by the city manager. With this project, the children in the Southeast community are once again being told that they are not good enough. They will once again be required to sacrifice because the plans for the school are not comparable to the other middle schools, although it is supposed to be the newest and the most modern. Our students will be denied a track field, even though sports competitions are being brought back to middle schools. Every other middle school has a track field. The old Huntington Middle School had a track field. The size of the gym is going to be inadequate. The seating for the auditorium will be inadequate because you won't even be able to have an assembly of all the students at one time. This is all because the city has taken over the building of the school, because once again, the school division and school board were required to go along with the plan in order to get funding. Why is Huntington the only school that was placed under public buildings in order to get funding? Once again, our community is having to sacrifice because the city is taking away 5 blocks of school property and putting the school on 2 blocks. That would be inadequate for replacing the school. In order to put recreation before education, they are going through this process, which will deny Huntington students the same equity and equality as the other middle schools in the city. We ask this council to take a good look at what is going on and to right the wrongs that have occurred in our community. Return the building of Huntington to the school division. City managers do not build schools. Huntington's location, return Huntington to its location, the original site. Huntington Middle School shall rise again at 3401 Orchid Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next item is new business. City manager.
Nothing, sir.
City attorney.
Nothing, sir.
City clerk.
Yes, sir, I just want to thank the members of council for the beautiful flowers and the display that's shown this evening. I appreciate that. We had a magnificent municipal clerks week last week. Thank you all.
Thank you for all that you do. Councilman Harris.
Yes, and good evening to everyone. Once again, thank you for being here and everyone who shared on tonight. I first want to say happy Teachers Appreciation Week to all of our teachers, educators here in the city and beyond. And I do want to apologize to Ms. Kiera from earlier because the wrong information came up, but I now have it. I just wanted to read some of her credentials so it can be on record, as I didn't get a chance to read it all as I wanted to earlier, because normally I do it at the end of the meeting, and we got through it a little faster than I thought we would, so I wish you could have been able to stay. But Miss Alexander is a senior at Achievable Dream here in Newport News and is ranked 4th in her graduating class, and she serves the school as a senior class president and the president of the National Honor Society at her school. She's also an emerging in the Newport News Public Schools Emerging Leader Institute. She has a 3.0 above, and she's in that Achievable Dream 3.0 club. She's also on the Principals Advisory Board, the SCA, the Newport News Public Schools Flourish Youth Empowerment Club, the Heritage High School Girls Varsity Volleyball Team, and she's the captain of the tennis team. She's also a member of the CNU Community Captains Program, Hampton University Upward Bound Program, and she has participated in various panels representing the schools as a student representative. She's also served as a student panelist on AIM for the Impact Summer Leadership Institute and the Newport News Public Schools Innovative Conference sponsored by the school system. She's participated in a local community panel sponsored by WHRO Public Media and iHeartRadio for hosting community conversations on school safety. And she also serves as a panelist for Newport News Public Schools at the UVA Youth Next Conference. And as stated earlier, she's planning to attend James Madison on a full scholarship. And she hopes and aspires to be an athletic trainer for the NFL or any major league sports franchise. So I wanted that to be on record of the great things that this young lady has accomplished and continuing to do, as she is an exemplary model for our young people. And hopefully she will see this, as I'll make sure we let everybody know in the city, as you got to see her earlier, and let everybody know the great things that she's done, and we're excited about her future here in the city of Newport News. And that's all I have, Mayor Jones.
Thank you. Councilman Long.
I just want to wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day, my mother, my wife, and all the other mothers in the city. I guess Dr. Woodbury and Tina Vick as well. Happy Mother's Day. That's all I have. Oh, I'm sorry.
Councilman Vick.
I just want to say the same thing that you said, Councilman Long, wish him happy Mother's Day. But also, since it's graduation time, I'm so proud of two of my family members. My little niece, we call her Little Letha, but her name is Kalitha Vick. She's named after my mom, so she will be graduating in a few days from Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, so I'm so proud of her. And also my nephew, who was graduating with his master's from Old Dominion University. So those are my two shout-outs today, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Woodbury.
Yes, I have a special thing that I want to do tonight because our mayor is always recognizing people who are special and what they've done and giving citations and giving all this. But guess what? Mayor Jones was selected one of the nation's rising leaders. So I want to call out tonight this for him. It's a beautiful little article. You might have missed it, but I saw it. He was selected as one of the 22 leaders from across the country to join the New Deal Developing Exceptional American Leaders, a national network of progressive state and local elected officials. They were announced that the organization brings together leaders focused on expanding opportunity, helping them develop and spread innovative ideas to spur economic growth that is broadly earned and sustainable. Mr. Jones, Mayor Jones, was selected to join New Deal because of his pro-growth vision for the future of Newport News and his commitment to leveraging the power of local government to effect change for residents. The announcement highlights his support of a number of equity-minded community development initiatives, among them a plan to encourage more small, minority, and woman-owned businesses to compete for city contracts, and his strong stances on improving the quality of education and advocating for greater safety measures. So will you join me in honoring our mayor?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Councilman Ely.
Well, if I would have known you would have had that award, we would have had a dinner from Schlesinger's tonight.
There's always next week.
Not there, but hold him to it. Hold him to it.
Congratulations on that award. That's great. Great for the city of Newport News. I also would like to thank the budget department and their team for putting together that budget. I know they worked tireless night after day to make that happen for this council. And also, Cindy, thank you for you and your team for listening to council, making things happen, because our goal is to move the city of Newport News forward. I also had the opportunity yesterday to visit Bethel High School. The Secretary of Education came in just to see the things that the partnerships that Newport News and Hampton are working together just to make sure our kids have the best options they need to succeed in life. That was very good to see leaders from both cities come together, talk about ideas, and see how we could best move Newport News and Hampton forward in the right direction. Last weekend, I had the opportunity of being the special guest celebrity judge for the Something in the Water Festival they had in Virginia Beach, and the winners came from Newport News.
So now we know what's in the water.
Yes, they had local dance teams from all over the Hampton Roads come out to compete in the dance competition, and it was a lot of great talent from Newport News. So it's just great to see that we have great talent here, and just want to see how we can just, our young people want to do positive things, and that was just very knowledgeable to see that it was most of the talent that was there was from Newport News. So I was honored to be one of the judges for that event. Also, I'd like to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your wonderful day. You definitely deserve it, as well as Hampton University is having a graduation this weekend. So congratulations to all the local graduates from Hampton University. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Nothing, sir.
All right. I'll wrap up. I'll echo some of the comments made. I just want to give a special thank you to the budget department. And Lisa, I know I've called you multiple times over the last few weeks saying add this, modify, change this, but your entire staff, the ultimate professionals. So thank you for all that you do for the city. The second thing is I want to give a shout out to the school board for their help in the part of the budget. It's a partnership. They are a different board that's independently elected, but the budget time is always a tense situation, and this year was not tense at all. So I just want to say thank you for the leadership of Lisa Searles Law and the entire school board, because as we sort of seek to transform education and transform opportunities in the city, that requires a partnership of the city and the schools. So thank you to Lisa and the entire school board. And sort of the last thing is to all the teachers, the educators, the principals, everyone that educates children, whether it's in the classroom or not, the unofficial teachers. I've always said that education is the panacea. Education is the thing that can change lives, and we know we have a lot of educators in the room with Dr. Woodbury and with Councilman Harris and others. So thank you, everyone who's an educator. Thank you for all that you do for our community. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.